Hello everyone and welcome again to our class. Our topic for today is about the early Western music composers. So this is the last topic for the first quarter in music. For our learning competency, at the end of the lesson, you'll be able to improvise appropriate accompaniment to selected music from medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque period. Another is you'll be able to perform music from medieval, Renaissance, and Baroque period. And lastly, evaluate music and music performances using guided rubric. As for our lecture outline, we will talk about medieval composers such as Adam de la Halle, Guido de Arezzo, Renaissance composers who are Thomas Morley and Giovanni della Palestrina, and Baroque composers such as George Frederick Handel, Antonio Vivaldi, and Johann Sebastian Bach. By the way, I will appreciate if you will subscribe to my channel where I post all the lessons in MAPE. And if you like this video, please leave a like and comment before the lecture has ended. So let's get started. First, let's talk about the medieval period composers who are Guido de Arezzo and Adam de la Halle. Guido de Arezzo was an Italian music theorist and pedagogue who developed the hexachord system and the musical staff. Guido de Arezzo was probably born in Italy, although it has been conjectured that he may have come to Italy from France at an early age. So si Guido de Arezzo ang kilala sa pag-develop ng hexachord system at yung tinatawag natin na musical staff. Yung musical staff, ito yung bumubuo ng 5 lines and 4 spaces na kung saan nilalagay yung musical notation. Next is Adam de la Halle. So he is one of the oldest secular composers. He was a French-born trouvère, poet, and musician whose literary and musical works includes chanson and junpartis, or also known as poetic debates in the styles of trouvères, polyphonic rondel, and motets in the style of early liturgical polyphony. His musical play, Jeu de Robin et Marion, was considered as the earliest surviving secular French play with music. So imagine nyo yung composition na ito ni Adam de la Halle is panahon pa na medieval period. So ganun na katagal yung nag-i-exist itong musical composition na ito. So we could say na talagang antigo na siya. So now, let us listen to Let Jeu de Robin et Marion by Adam de la Halle. Next composers are from the Renaissance period, who are Thomas Morley and Giovanni de Palestrina. First, let's talk about the life of Thomas Morley. Thomas Morley is from England from 1557 or 1558 or to early October 1602. So he was an English composer, theorist, singer, and organist of the Renaissance period. Kilala naman ng mga taga-Renaissance, di ba, na hindi lang sila sa isang specialty na nag-work, kundi iba't iba yung talagang mga ginagawa nila. Merong mga composer na sila, at the same time painter pa sila, minsan singer sila, pero usually related naman yung mga gawa nila sa isa't isa, almost related sila sa arts or sciences, something like that. So he veered towards composing madrigals that show variety of color, form, and technique. Most of his madrigals are light, easy to sing, with some aspect of Italian style. His Musica Transalpine, a collection of Italian madrigals fitted with English text, was published in 1558 by Nicholas Young. Shortly after, he began publishing his own collections of madrigals and made him significant contribution to the history of music. So si Thomas Morley, kilala siya sa pagkukompose ng mga madrigal, and one of his famous madrigal is entitled Far, Far My Heart. Now we will listen to this composition by Thomas Morley.
Fire, 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 my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart, my heart, la la la.
Another composer from the Renaissance period is Giovanni Peri de Palestrina. He is said to be the greatest master of Roman Catholic Church music during the Renaissance period. So he was from Italy and he lived from 1525 to 1594. And majority of his works are sacred music. When we say sacred music, again, it means religious or church music. His Pope Marcellus Mass is held up as a perfect example of Counter-Reformation style. So yan, kilala si Palestrina sa pagko-compose ng mga choral pieces for the Catholic Church during the time of Renaissance period. And let us listen to Pope Marcellus Mass by Palestrina. And finally, let's discuss the composers from Baroque period, namely Frederick Handel, Antonio Vivaldi, and Johann Sebastian Bach. Siguro sa lahat ng mga composers na nabanggit natin, itong tatlo na to talaga yung very remarkable. Bakit? Kasi yung mga compositions nila ay talagang sikat hanggang sa ngayon. So first, let's discuss the life of Frederick Handel. So, Frederick Handel was born in Germany on February 25, 1685, and he was regarded for his operas and oratorios. Noong time ng Baroque period, sikat na sikat ang opera at saka ang oratorio sa mga performances for public. And Handel became England's favorite composer. He had given English audiences music that in variety and interest rivaled anything they could remember. And the Messiah is his most famous creation, and the very well-known Hallelujah chorus is part of the Handel's Messiah. So si Frederick Handel, marami siya mga composition, particularly are operas and oratorios. And since paborito nga ng mga tao yung mga operas and oratorios during the time of the Baroque period, kaya sobrang naging sikat yung mga creation niya, particularly yung The Messiah. Maaring alam nyo nga yung tono nitong The Messiah na to, particularly Hallelujah Chorus, but you don't know that that is the title of that composition. So para ma-identify natin, let's listen to Hallelujah Chorus from The Messiah made by Frederick Handel. Another popular composer from the Baroque period is Antonio Lucio Vivaldi. Antonio Lucio Vivaldi was born in Venice on March 4, 1678, nicknamed Il Pete Rosso or the Red Priest because of his red hair, and was an Italian Baroque composer. So he is a Catholic priest and virtuoso violinist. He was also known mainly for composing instrumental concertos, especially for the violin, as well as sacred choral works and over 40 operas. Pero sa lahat ng mga composition ni Vivaldi, ang talagang well-known is yung kanyang Four Seasons. So yung Four Seasons is a series of 4 violin concerto depicting each of the seasons, particularly spring, summer, autumn, and winter. So sa lahat ng mga yan, sa 4 seasons, ang pinakasikat na concerto ng 4 seasons is yung spring. Although, medyo sikat din naman yung tunog ng summer, pero mas kilala talaga sa lahat is yung spring. Kaya nga kapag pinarinig natin yung 4 seasons, alam na ng mga tao yung melody na yon kasi sobrang sumikat yung 4 seasons during that time. So now let's listen to the 4 seasons spring, first movement or La Primavera. And the last composer, but the most popular among all the composers that we have discussed, is Johann Sebastian Bach. So Johann Sebastian Bach ay ang pinaka parang pinuno, Diyos na sinasamba ng lahat ng mga sumunod sa kanyang composer. Siya talaga yung sobrang hinahangaan o parang naging idolo ng mga sumunod na composer sa kanya. In fact, nung namatay nga si Johann Sebastian Bach, natapos na rin ang era ng Baroque period. So, ganun siya ka-relevant. And then, yung mga predecessors niya, from the classical period, they adopted the style of Johann Sebastian Bach, and from that adaptation, they created something new, which is the classical style that we will discuss on the second quarter. So who is this Johann Sebastian Bach that he became so popular? So Johann Sebastian Bach is a German, and he was born on March 21, 1685, up to July 28, 1750. And he was born from a family of musicians. He was a religious man, and his personal and deep faith is shown in his sacred music. Among them all, kung si Handel ay sikat sa mga pagkukompose sa mga operas and oratorio, si Bach naman kilala siya sa pagkukompose ng mga sacred music. So he became known for his composition for the organ, orchestra, and oratorio. His most important and long-term position as the cantor of St. Thomas Church, and the death of Bach on July 28, 1750 ended the Baroque period in music. Isa sa mga trivia about kay Johann Sebastian Bach, sobrang dami niyang kinumpos sa mga concerto kasi meron siyang patron na kung saan lagi siyang inuutusan na mag-compose halos araw-araw, mga 2-3 beses sa loob ng isang araw. Kaya umabot talaga ng hundreds yung composition ni Johann Sebastian Bach. At marami din siyang anak at saka pamilya. And isa sa mga tragic na nangyari sa kanya is yung mga pamilya niya namatay sila isa-isa kasi nauso yung iba't ibang klase ng sakit ng panahon na yun. Kaya pag inag-aralan natin yung mga later composition ni Johann Sebastian Bach, medyo malulungkot na yung sound nung kanyang mga composition. Pero kilala si Johann Sebastian Bach sa pagko-compose ng mga concerto, and yung paboritong style na ginagamit ni Johann Sebastian Bach is counterpoint. Most of his compositions are in counterpoint. When we say counterpoint, meaning there are different melodies sounding simultaneously, but although they are countering each other, they are still creating harmony, and it is still pleasing to the ear. So, yung style na yun ng counterpoint, makikita natin sa mga concerto niya at sa mga fugue na compositions niya. So, let's listen to some of his sample. The Sonata for Violin No. 2 in A minor, and to be followed by Toccata and Fugue in D minor, BWV 565. Alright, so that's the end of my discussion, and I hope that you learned something from me. Leave a like and comment in this video if you like this content, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell button. I appreciate all the love from you guys, so stay safe and see you again next time.